Lots of winners.
Straight ahead on the news at 10, lawmakers back in the capital city. The countdown to the 2000 session is on. One of the biggest battles, trying to reduce property taxes, plus taking radar detectors off the radar screen, a move to ban them in Florida. Your first news at 10 on Fox 49 starts right now.
First, with tonight's local news, this is Fox 49 News at 10.
And good evening. First on Fox, get ready for the hustle and bustle to return to downtown Tallahassee, the start of the 2007 legislative session. Fox 49 reporter Trent Davis tells us before legislators get down to business, it's time for the annual party where legislators and lobbyists mingle.
Legislators pour into the Associated Industries mixer, but this year several major players were not here. Governor Charlie Crist instead holding a pre-State of the State party of his own at the governor's mansion.
I just think it's important to have an opportunity to open up the People's House to more people as much as I can.
And local state representatives got together at the Brogan Museum.
This is a good sign that you have a number of receptions going on, and it's good for our catering business, it's good for our community. Amidst
the food and entertainment, lawmakers still sticking to serious talk of developing the state budget.
Well, with a new governor, it's always interesting to see what his leadership will bring forward. He certainly talked about dealing with this murder act as well as property taxes.
Community budget requests is high on everyone's list, and this is it's a year that's going to be tougher budget-wise than previous years. So I think it remains to be seen what's going to happen with those budget requests, and I hope that there are some important projects for this community that we might be able to still see funded.
Continuing to fight the fight to lower insurance premiums, property taxes, make Floridians more safe, support education, the environment, I mean a multitude of things.
He'll spell it all out in his State of the State address at 11 a.m. In Tallahassee, Trent Davis, Fox 49 News at 10.
And with the hundreds of lawmakers and lobbyists in Tallahassee, it sure gives a big economic boost to the area. Merchants near the downtown area will, of course, be seeing an increase in sales. Right now, hotels are booked, and in the coming days, restaurants will be filling up. Still, the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association says the gift ban approved in 2005 will make it a challenge for area businesses to make the big bucks.
Due to the lobby ban that passed, it has restricted the way in which funds can be spent during the legislative session. And many of our restaurants are suffering tremendously from the impact of that legislation.
Over the course of the last few years, it's estimated the 60-day session brings in roughly $100 million to the area. Well, the debate over how to reduce your property taxes is shaping up to be the biggest battle coming this spring. The Republican plan would hike the state sales tax in return for those lower property taxes. Some Democratic leaders favor a tiered approach to property tax cuts and permanent tax exemptions that could cover some renters, too. Governor Crist will push for his own property tax relief plan tomorrow when he delivers that first State of the State speech before a joint session of the House and Senate, as we say, 11 a.m. Meanwhile, Gadsden County leaders hold a special tax workshop tonight for local residents and business owners, getting them up to speed on the proposed property tax reforms and how they may affect Gadsden County in this case. Area leaders say reducing property taxes will cost that county nearly $2 million and force budget cuts in different areas of county services. Some residents worry cuts will be made from the bottom up.
The biggest concern is not going to start from the top. It's going to start from the bottom. They're going to cut more of the small things and not the big things, the ones that's putting the money in the big people's pockets, the ones that are making the money.
We look at all departments, what services are there provided now. We look at any cutbacks that we can get without cutting services first, and then we have to look at services next.
The conversation and debate will continue next Tuesday, March 13th, in a follow-up meeting where the county will ask for recommendations to pursue other sources of revenue. The Florida legislature is moving to ban radar detectors from your car. Under the bill, drivers caught with a detector could receive a moving violation. Law enforcement says that would eliminate the false sense of security they say many drivers have when using radar devices, but some drivers say it would only eliminate their right and a personal freedom.
It's kind of an infringement, I think. If people want to have radar detectors, you know, prepare themselves for a cop coming out to slow down and make it safer.
Well, if the bill passes, Florida will join Virginia as the only states banning radar detectors. The bill calling for Georgia pickup truck drivers to buckle up picks up speed in the General Assembly. The state Senate voting in favor of the bill, which now heads to the House for final approval. The sponsor of the bill says the time to buckle up is before the engine starts. The bill's opponents argue the law would be a hassle for farmers who frequently stop while traveling through their fields.
If you're driving a pickup truck or a car and you turn bottom side upwards in a river, how you don't unhook that darn seatbelt? If you didn't have one on, you wouldn't have to worry about unhooking it. You might get out alive.
If the bill passes, Georgia would be eligible for more than $20 million in additional federal highway funds. Your child may soon face a tougher challenge getting into the first grade. Georgia law requires students to be tested for first grade readiness. The Georgia Kindergarten Assessment Program was created in the 90s, and teachers are welcoming the new G-Kids program, saying the old one was due for changes.
We are working very closely with that process, and we actually got to, via telephone, computer, and internet, got to give input at the state level. What we thought was important, what areas need to be addressed for the new G-Kids testing program.
Teachers say with the curriculum getting tougher, so should the tests. This will give parents and teachers the chance to best evaluate what the child has learned to that point. Still to come here on Fox 49 News at 10, soldiers forced to heal in deplorable conditions. A military hospital under fire tonight. We'll have a look at how Congress investigated it all today, but first, Chief Meteorologist Mike McCall here with a preview of the forecast. Mike?
Thank you very much, John. And for us, we are talking about another chilly night is in store as clear skies will eventually change, too. We'll tell you if that means some rain when we come back.
First, with tonight's local news, this is Fox 49 News at 10.
Buying a home can be confusing. Tune into this week's Mortgage Minute to see how you can actually simplify the process.
Tuesday night on Fox 49 News at 10.
Just $9.99.
Music legend Petula Clark hosts an all-star reunion from the bands that made the British Beat.
Wow thing. The night's so much brighter than you can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go down.
Thrilled to the British Beat, March 6th at 9 p.m. on PBS, WFSU TV, Cable 5.
Why does that bother you?
8 guys take the stage, and the pressure's on because it's their last chance to make it to the top 12 American Idol.
8 o'clock Tuesday on Fox 49.
Good evening, everyone. I will try to make it through the next few minutes without clearing my throat 17 times, so bear with me. We're talking about some cool temperatures coming back again tonight, but maybe not quite as cold as last night, but already down to 40 degrees, Tallahassee, 40 in Valdosta. Then you've got Bainbridge and Moultrie at 46. Apalachicola, chilly at 43. Then it jumps to 53 in Panama City. Now, inland sections will likely see some low 30s, maybe to around 30 degrees in the cold spots. And for that reason, we do have a freeze warning for the inland areas, but it's a marginal freeze. Even the coldest spots probably won't get much below freezing, and not for a long duration. So the biggest problem may just be some scattered frost around, and when temperatures are expected to rise more and more rapidly tomorrow, I don't think we'll have any real problems. Let's look around the rest of the southeast now. With high pressure just to our west, it's places like Tallahassee and Savannah that are the coolest. They're at 39 degrees. Then as you head farther, or to our east rather, and then as you head farther west, it warms up. 52 New Orleans, 55 Houston, and also 55 right now in Dallas. With high pressure nearly over the top of us, it's still dropped down into the low 30s, especially in the normally cold spots, Tallahassee, Perry, Cross City, the inland areas that had the sandy soils and the low-lying areas. That'll be the best chance of seeing those temperatures at or below freezing. Then the daytime highs tomorrow today We were mostly in the mid-60s. Tomorrow we're talking low 70s and still all kinds of sunshine. So great looking Tuesday shaping up with low to mid-70s throughout most of the Sunshine State and maybe just a couple degrees cooler across the Peach State. Now, farther north across the Peach State tonight, it is all clear. Sunshine State about the same thing, but we may have to throw in a couple of high clouds in there tomorrow. We'll see these zipping in from the northwest, but typically speaking, clouds that come in from the northwest are not big rain producers, especially when they're the high clouds. All that indicates is an area of high pressure in the upper levels. And with that, we typically see a warming trend to go along with the dry conditions. And that really is going to be the case the next few days. We do have a little weak frontal boundary that's going to slide down the east coast. And if you'll watch closely, you'll see a couple little showers along this little boundary, and they kind of fall apart. Then the easterly winds try to bring the moisture in. Bottom line is I don't think anything's going to reach us rain-wise until maybe some isolated showers at the end of the week and the first part of the weekend. But even then, we're talking probably 20% or less. So really don't have any rain worries. Now, if you need the rainfall, again, the news is not all that great. But if you need the dry weather, it's a pretty good-looking week for you. Now, elsewhere across the country, a good part of the lower 48 is pretty dry tonight. Do have some scattered snow showers still in the northeast. Been a tough couple of days up there with a lot of cold air. Temperatures tomorrow may be even colder. While out west, well, a few little rain showers and snow showers in the mountains, but also a very, very quiet pattern across most of the western half of the country. There's your cold stuff from Boston to Chicago to Minneapolis in the 20s and 30s, but just about everybody else in the 40s and 50s. We'll see that warming trend continue for the next several days. Out on the water tomorrow, northeast wind a little bit on the breezy side, especially offshore, 8 to 16 knots, so your Gulf seas will run 2 to 4 feet. Light to moderate chop, bays, and inland waters. Tonight, freeze warning for the inland sections, but again, very marginal. Only talking a very light freeze, worst case, and some scattered frost. Even as dry as the air was today, it's starting to moisten up enough for some frost. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, warmer, daytime high of 72. Humidity maybe not quite as low as today, but still no rainfall. No rain expected Wednesday and Thursday as daytime highs continue in the mid-70s. Friday and Saturday, a little more humidity, slight chance of a shower. And morning lows creeping up. Probably have some morning fog by the end of the week, but for most of us, dry and very, very pleasant.
Is this sort of an allergy thing or what?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't had this in a month. It just decided to creep up on me.
I wish I had a penny for every viewer who went during weather trying to clear your throat for you.
Please, maybe that'll help. Feel free to clear your throat to help.
Very good. All right, Mike, when we come back, I don't think it'll work, but when we come back on Fox 49 News at 10, back to basics for your morning meal, why whole wheat should be on your shelves and in your mouth. Coming back.
Abu fathers octuplets. And it's a dream come true.
Welcome to my nightmare.
The Simpsons.
7 o'clock Tuesday on Fox 49.
Need new tires or auto repair? Highway just past Capitol Circle or call 574-4100.
This Tuesday,
I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, and I can bring it.
who will be the next Pussycat Doll?
Toughen up.
Get ready for the most captivating competition of the season.
If you don't dance like this, you're out of here.
All the excitement,
I just want this so bad.
all the drama,
Not easy, okay, you guys?
all for the dream.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
The Pussycat Dolls present The Search for the Next Doll.
9 o'clock Tuesday on the CW.
Remember when long distance was really expensive? You remember. Then we got a choice. Now long distance calls are just pennies a minute. Remember when cell phones were a luxury? Now we have lots of choices, and the cost has plummeted. So, do you have a real choice to cable TV? Looked at your cable bill lately? Call your legislator. Florida deserves a real choice to cable TV. It's time. Paid for by TV for Us.
Oh, no. No.
The Wedding Bells. 9 Wednesday on Fox 49. First, with tonight's local news, this is Fox 49 News at 10.
All right, so the other news of the night now, and the Seminole Indian tribe is now the proud new owner of nearly all of the Hard Rock cafes, hotels, and casinos across the United States. The deal announced in December and now gives the tribe's gaming operations room to grow in states where gaming is legal. The purchase marks an American tribe's first purchase of a major international corporation. All finalized today. A funeral service for the first of 8 Enterprise, Alabama residents killed in last week's tornadoes. Hundreds gathering to say goodbye to Enterprise High School student Michelle Wilson. Officials say they will close the school for much of the week as the town buries the dead. A Michigan man who police say confesses to killing and dismembering his wife heads from a hospital bed to a jail cell. Authorities say Stephen Grant there gave authorities a detailed confession as to how he killed and dismembered his wife while the couple's 2 children were at home. Initial autopsy results say 34-year-old Tara Lynn died of strangulation. 2 Texas teenagers arrested for encouraging 2 toddlers to smoke marijuana. Look at that right there. Video showing police exactly what happened and the police found it as they were serving a burglary warrant at the teens' homes. 17-year-old Demetrius McCoy and his cousin, 18-year-old Vansman Pulte, are both behind bars tonight, charged with a felony injury to a child, making them smoke the weed. A deadly shooting at a menu printing plant, in California. Los Angeles County authorities say a man, possibly a fired worker, opened fire at Kenyon Press. The suspect killed 1 person and critically wounded 3 others. A hearing to investigate allegations of unacceptable care and living conditions of wounded soldiers at Walter Reed Army Hospital. The outcry over the conditions at Walter Reed leading to the firing of the hospital chief and the resignation of Army Secretary Francis Harvey. Health news tonight, Fox RX and nutrition experts keep reminding us those whole grain foods are good for us. Now a new study backs up that advice. The new findings show eating whole grain breakfast cereal can reduce your risk for heart failure. That's kind of a close shot, isn't it? More than 24 years, researchers asked more than 10,000 physicians if they ate whole grain breakfast cereals or refined breakfast cereals. Researchers found doctors who ate whole grain breakfast cereals 7 times or more times a week were 28% less likely to develop heart failure and thus were very regular.
Yeah,
I would think.
I would imagine so. I do eat the usually the whole grain cereal there at in the morning. Little grape nuts flakes.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything.
You're a traditional man, aren't you, my friend?
Yeah.
Good times, good weekend.
Not a bad weekend. You watch that 24?
I don't. Everyone says it's the greatest show in the history of the world.
And now the Russians are, they're the enemy again. So you've always kind of
And I'm a big Cold War. I think I'd love to go back to it. Forget this thing in Iraq. Let's go with the Russians.
Yeah.
I like to fight them again. That was a good time. Al Thornton could be on board, and if so, we'd probably win. Stick around.
It's the #1 greatest show of all time.
Are you still master of your domain?
Giddy up. Seinfeld.
New time, 10:30 weeknights on Fox 49.
The newest.
Hey there, friends. Good to see you. 45 points, one off the school record, the most for an ACC player since Rodney Monroe of NC State scored 48 in 91. Al Thornton, your table is ready. The guy should have won the ACC Player of the Year with that performance. Now, if just his team could get into the only tournament that counts, as Melissa Makos explains, and Knowles still have some work to do.
Opinion, no one that has done more for his team than Al Thornton has done for this Florida State team.
And Al and his team are trying to do something that hasn't been done in 8 seasons, make the NCAA tournament. As a bubble team, Florida State must win their first round game against Clemson in the ACC tourney.
Our whole team, throughout the coaching staff and our teammates, we real focused mentally and physically. Hopefully, which we will. We'll come in Thursday afternoon and get ready for Clemson and be ready to play. I hope we come out with a victory.
We realize that we have not played particularly well against Clemson, and we have a clear understanding of why. Now it's just up to us to go out and make sure that we correct the mistakes we made in the other 2 games.
This will be the 3rd time this season Florida State and Clemson hit the hard court against one another. Florida State lost both contests, so perhaps for the Noles, 3rd time's the charm.
We can't let them beat us 3 times. So, I mean, hopefully we got a week, close to a week to prepare for them, and I feel like we'll be all right.
And if they beat Clemson, they might just be all right on Selection Sunday.
Well, arena football is not known for its defense. Games where both teams approach 50 are the norm. Yet in the first season, the Tallahassee Titans are showing signs of a defensive juggernaut. Titans beat the Reading Express on Saturday, and in the process handed Reading its first road loss in nearly 2 years. No idea what that means, but it seems impressive. It was the third straight opponent that the Titans have held under 50 to start a season. Not a bad way to start a franchise either.
We was fortunate to beat them, and they came and gave us a good little scare at the beginning, but we just stayed intact. We were a little flat at the beginning, but we came on. We came on, especially second half. We really did a great job.
Got to be honest, I'm not really sure what to think of those guys yet. They've done well. They've drawn well with the attendance. I got to get out there to a game and check it out.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that too. All right,
Bo,
thank you very much. Hey, bad news on Wall Street as overseas markets prove unstable. New Century Financial faces possible bankruptcy, and Barnes & Noble in desperate need of that new Harry Potter book. Fox's Terry Keenan, First Business tonight.
A wild ride on Wall Street as investors did their best to hold on after a wave of selling. Let's get right to the numbers. The Dow was down 64 points. The Nasdaq lost 27. The S&P was off 13. Sell-offs overseas plus concerns about mortgage defaults proved just too much for stocks. The Dow having a wild session Monday with dramatic point swings, ultimately falling for the 8th time in the last 9 trading days. Shares of New Century Financial losing almost 70% of their value. The subprime lender, which lends money to people with shaky credit histories, is seeing rising defaults. New Century also disclosing that it's under criminal investigation for its lending practices. Analysts fear the company may have to file for bankruptcy. Former WorldCom CEO Bernie Ebbers has lost his last chance to get out of jail. The Supreme Court rejecting his appeal. Ebbers was sentenced to 25 years in prison for an $11 billion accounting fraud that drove WorldCom into bankruptcy. And finally, investors throwing the book at Barnes & Noble, the world's largest bookseller, issuing a much lower than expected profit forecast. But some good news for customers in its members program. They'll be able to buy the new Harry Potter book, which comes out in July, for almost half off. Let us look at business. I'm Terry Keenan.
Things are getting friendlier.
You tricked me to get me into bed?
That's right.
I feel so used.
On Friends.
New time, 11 weeknights on Fox 49.
It's built to be fast, loaded with options, and includes amazing amounts of cash. It's Cars and Cash from the Florida Lottery. Every week you could be one of 7 lucky winners who gets to choose a brand new car. Or you could win $250,000 cash. That's a total of 42 cars and $1.5 million. But hurry, it's only for a limited time. Then it's gone. Cars and Cash from the Florida Lottery. Lots of cars, lots of cash, lots of winners.
Music legend Petula Clark hosts an all-star reunion from the bands that made the British Beat.
Wow thing. The night's so much brighter than you can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go down.
Thrilled to the British Beat, March 6th at 9 p.m. on PBS, WFSU TV, Cable 5.
Chad, what's with all the text messages?
Yeah, did hair gel go on sale?
Come on, that's so friends keep in touch.
Oh, that's funny, Chad. You know these aren't cheap.
Oh, they are with My Circle. Not only can you talk for free, now you can text and IM too.
Thank you.
Now get 1,000 free messages with the My Circle Family Choice Plan. And hurry in for a great deal on a Bluetooth camera phone.
Better study up because
Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
is now on its regular night, Fox Thursday.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Write this down because there'll be a test later. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
9 Thursday on Fox 49.
Defending champ Jimmy Johnson looks to repeat last year's dramatic finish as the world's top drivers brave the diamond in the desert.
4 o'clock Sunday on Fox 49.
Finally on Fox tonight, Tallahassee police are going the distance to help a fellow officer. 4 motorcycle officers from TPD starting out on an 8-hour trip to Louisiana. They started out this morning. The purpose, to help out a Baton Rouge police officer battling cancer. The department raised more than $1,000 for his care. The officers are using their personal vacation time, personal bikes, and money to make that journey across the Gulf region to Baton Rouge. Very nice indeed. All right, here we are, Mike McCall. We've got a cool morning, something tells me.
We do, and then after that, we start a little warm-up that will continue for a couple of days. And it looks as though if you like the dry weather, got a lot more of that in store. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for froggy throats, but we'll see. Frosty in the morning, sunny and dry in the afternoon.
And we'll see you tomorrow night at 10.